Welcome to the Human Experience by Hiddenbody. Rich, Tim and I, we've been practicing and studying within the field of movement for 10 plus years. Through our explorations, we're trying to bring a lighter and more inclusive approach to the movement practice and to the human experience. Now, if you want to develop strength, flexibility and skills, or you want to stimulate your body and your brain, go to hiddenbody.nl. Let's continue with today's episode. Good morning, everyone. It's 24th of December. It's around 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm doing a fast meditation walk on this empty path with a little bit of rain, very soft. So calm. I feel so happy, and I'm looking forward to see my family, be with my family, and also my sister and her fiance. Now they're back from Australia. Today I will do it's the second day of my intention to do running for 4 days. So today I'm going to start a little bit of a warm-up, going through different drills that will help me find kind of the right technique for sprinting. And then I'm going to lean into the leaning starts of the sprints. Then I'll do a couple of sprints, 50 meter, and then I'm going to end with trying to set my personal record for the 100-meter sprint. Right there. It's day 4, Thursday morning, 26th of December. Had a very lovely Christmas lunch/dinner yesterday with family, with amazing cooking skills from my sister and my dad and my mom. And actually didn't speak with a lot of people, but I spoke long and extended with just a few. And gained some new insights through the conversations and connection with family members that I hadn't seen in a while. So it was lovely. And today I'm going to try the 400-meter sprint. Yesterday I was just going through some techniques. I'm doing them before every run, but yesterday taking a little bit more time because there's one drill or pattern that I feel very uncoordinated with. I want to say now it's great, but of course I also feel a lot of frustration when I can't do something like that. But as I said yesterday also to my uncle, this is exactly why Rich, Tim and I, or it's one of the reasons Rich, Tim and I study is to feel exactly what some of our students feel with the things that we might be good at now. So to really empathize maybe with someone's frustration or fear, making sure that we are putting ourselves into that situation. So yeah, gonna go for the 400-meter sprint. This is gonna be it. Warmed up, ready. Also not feeling ready, but going to try and bundle all the force I have in me. 400 meters. Okay, so just ran the 400 meter, and after that I just kept on walking. Well, that's not true. Right after I had to squat down, I almost felt like I need to puke. And yeah, the 400 meter is definitely the toughest one. I did it in 1 minute and 33 seconds, but I guess those first 100 meters are okay. Very quickly I started to feel I think the first thing that I felt was very heavy in the legs. Then my upper body also became very tensed. Then the air hunger came in. So I gasped with my mouth open and tried to regain again nose breathing. And then I became quite nauseous, which would make sense because I ate quite a lot yesterday. But yeah, state now is proud that I did it. Ready to start improving on that time, but I'm already happy with it because I did it.
Hoppa.
Ziet er goed uit.
Dankjewel.
Sportief.
So this year, Rich decided to become a ballerina, and I decided to become a fighter.
Sessie uit.
Hey, that's Rich from Hiddenbody, and I'm quickly sharing a final update on the nasal breathing challenge. It's the end of the year, 2024 going into 2025. A lot of good things are ahead of us. We're going to be presenting a new map for the school in the beginning of January with a 1-year curriculum for our students. So it's a super exciting time also for us at Hiddenbody. And of course, we'll be continuing with all the cool experiments. And this experiment, the nasal breathing challenge, is one that I have to say it's low-hanging fruit. So it's very accessible for everybody. And if you do it consistently over a longer period of time, you will really start reaping the benefits. And one of the benefits which I've more recently noticed, also because I'm really going into a lot of endurance-related work, so very long runs, long endurance work, is that when you get really fatigued, your system has a tendency to go into a mouth breathing pattern, right? Because it wants to compensate for the lack of oxygen. So you start going into a mouth breathing pattern. And when you recognize this and you switch to nasal breathing, a very interesting process starts emerging where you have this bottom-up process, which is trying to regulate the system, but then there's also a top-down process, which is saying, wait a second, this is not the right pattern, we need to switch it up, and I want you to stick to nasal breathing so you can actually maintain a more efficient breathing mechanism, so to speak. So besides the fact that there are all these, you could say, chemical benefits to nasal breathing, and also benefits in terms of preventing respiratory infections and adding humidity to the air, and also making sure it works as a filter. There are also some benefits which I would say are psychological benefits, and the benefits are specifically related to your ability to inhibit certain behaviors or to inhibit certain actions. So for example, let's say you're riding your bike through the city and someone starts honking and yells at you, and immediately there's a reflex, right? There's a sensation bubbling up, and then there's a reflex. Now, when you start working more and more on developing what we would say a meta position, or a position where you're observing how the system responds and choosing deliberately what direction you want to take that response or that reflex, and then turn it into a response, the more you practice this, the more competent you become at recognizing these moments. And what I've noticed is that nasal breathing in and of itself really provides you an opportunity to practice and to develop this ability to inhibit specific responses. So by going into long runs and inhibiting a mouth breathing pattern, I'm also teaching my system to inhibit a reaction or a reflex when I'm riding my bike and someone is honking. So there's a lot of transferability between all these different moments of inhibitory control. So you might think that nasal breathing is only good for oxygenation, but it might actually prevent you from picking another cookie, or from watching the next Netflix series, or from mindlessly scrolling down Instagram, as all of us every now and then have the tendency to do. So that's my quick update on nasal breathing. So on one hand, we have all the benefits which are obvious, but then on the other hand, we also have the benefits from entering a meta position and choosing what you want to do.
It's Sunday morning. 2 hours ago I went out to do some sprinting, and this morning I wanted to share a bit a new nasal breathing insight. And my insight for this week is that I really noticed that the more I breathe through my nose, the more I become aware of all the smells around me. And of course, some areas, I would say more in the city areas, in the city center, you will have some very distinct smells, and I notice because of those smells, I'm being drawn more towards parks and areas where the air might be more fresh, more clean. So I'm going a lot now to the Wester Park, which is close to me. And then I also really like to go in the early morning, because I have a feeling, or it feels more fresh and more clean than later on the day and more in the city center. So just a short insight. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope you could extract something useful out of our experience, and make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed our content. If you want to know how Hiddenbody can help you develop strength, flexibility and skills, or stimulate your body and brain, go to hiddenbody.nl in the description below to find out what it is that we have to offer.